out for the very first time with my Steam library. And what are we doing today? I'm gonna give a go at guessing how long I've played each game in my Steam library from A all the way to Z / wherever numbers fit in, all that. I don't think I have any games that start with numbers. So my cursor is currently on Amnesia Machine for Pigs, which I've not played at all. And spoiler alert, that's how most of these are gonna be. I have not played the majority of games in my Steam library. I'm sure I'm not the only one. First up, Aer Memories of Old, or AER Memories of Old. I don't know actually how you're supposed to say it. I could have been saying it wrong this whole time and I would never know. I think I played this one for about 4 hours the first time I did. Maybe like 2.5. I'm gonna go 3.5. It was cool, but I never did finish it. It was one of those games where I played a bit and I was like, oh, this could be cool on the channel someday, so I'll set this aside for now. I'm gonna guess 3.5 hours. 2.7. Okay, yeah. Not bad, not bad. Next up on the list is Alien Isolation. Once again, sort of a similar situation, actually. I played it for about 4 hours, and I'm gonna actually go as far as like 5. I got stuck very early on and never saw an alien. I was playing it at night because I was like, oh, I want to be scared, but I was also really tired, so I was just like, wait, what did they ask me to do? And I got very lost in like the first 2 rooms or something like that. But, 91 minutes, so I was way off when I said 5 hours. It wasn't even nearly that long. Okay, I don't feel that bad if I got stuck for like 91 minutes and I was like, oh, I should just go to bed. If I was actually there for like 5 hours and never saw an alien, that would be pretty embarrassing. Next up is the Amber Throne, a game that I keep starting and never actually finishing. It's not actually that long. It's probably only like 8 to 10 hours long, but I'm sure I've got like 30 hours in it from how many times I've started over. I'm gonna guess 32 hours. 20.9. Okay, I overshot that a little, but cool little indie RPG thing. Amnesia Machine for Pigs we're back at. I'm pretty sure none of these Amnesia games I have played any at all, so they'll all be at 0. Next up is Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures, which being a difficult game, I probably would have sunk a number of hours into. I never did beat it, but I got to the last level on normal, I'm pretty sure. I doubt I have that save file anymore, but we could do it again if I wanted. I keep highballing it, so I'm gonna lowball it. I think it's 40 hours, I'm gonna go 28. 12.5. God, I feel like I've been playing that game for years collectively. It only took me 12.5 hours to die 1,000 times. Only 5.6% of people have that achievement. Oh no, that's not a good look. Next up is Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy, which we're currently playing Spirit of Justice on, and I would say we're about... Well, we're probably only about 40 hours into that, but I had to go back and re-record certain things when that bug happened, so I'm gonna guess 47 hours is how long it has logged here. 44.3. That was probably one of the closest guesses I've made so far. That wasn't just a 0. Speaking of a 0, Ark Survival Evolved and Ark Survival of the Fittest, I'm pretty sure will not have been played at all. Next up is Assassin's Creed Origins, which was, to date, the only Assassin's Creed game I've completed. Although I did play a small chunk of Assassin's Creed 1, which I kind of liked, and I'd like to go back to that for sure. From what little I played, I think I prefer the pre-RPG era of Assassin's Creed, at least gameplay-wise. Speaking story-wise, Origins wasn't so bad. I wouldn't say it blew me away, but I did like it enough to start trying to 100% it. I didn't, but after I beat the game, I got around, I got like 80%ed it or something. And that did take some time, so I'm gonna guess I've got 66 hours in it. Oh my god, 66.6. I doubt I'm gonna outdo myself in guesses there. That's probably one of the better guesses of this whole video, hands down. I don't even have to see the later ones. The Assembly will probably be 0. At Dead of Night, we played on the channel during one of our Chill or Be Chilleds. It were real scary, and I didn't play it much more than an hour, so it's generally gonna be like 70 minutes. 39, yeah, that's as long as it took for me to go, screw this, I'm out. Next up is Atri My Dear Moments, or Atri My Dear Moments, I have no idea how to say it. It's a game I've not played at all, I'm pretty sure. There was one day where I was like, man, every time I try to start a visual novel, nothing good comes of it. I want to find a good visual novel and play it through and have it be a good time. And so I searched the store for like visual novels sorted like best rated. And I was like, this one, buy it, I'm gonna play it. And then I did not play it. I've been thinking I might try it on the channel sometime because that would be a nice change of pace from all the super tense stuff we've been doing. That said, I have absolutely no idea what this is about. It could be a horrible, horrible story about nightmarish things happening. Next up is, speaking of horrible, nightmarish stories about horrible things happening, Baldur's Gate 3, which I've also not played, but it was gifted to me very kindly somewhat recently, either for Christmas or my birthday, I think for Christmas. Being that I'm super obnoxious about starting things from the first game, even if they're not related at all, I'll probably want to play Baldur's Gate 1 before it, but I mean, it's Baldur's Gate 3. It's well loved. I gotta play it someday. Next is Barrow Trauma, which we played a little bit on the channel, and I played a little bit off camera by myself at some point, but I think it probably wouldn't amount to much more than 7 hours altogether. 5.4, right. I had thought the time we played it, we had played for 5 hours, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I played off camera a bit as well for like 2 hours. So I was doing the math there, but maybe I'm making that up. Maybe the only time I played it was on camera. That was fun. I think it strikes as the sort of thing that is best multiplayer. It is designed to be a multiplayer game. Doing it with, doing it without any AI companions is super hard, as we found, but doing it with AI companions I feel like just wouldn't be the same. I'd still like to give it a try someday. Next up is Bastion, which I have not played, and Beat Saber. Ooh, Beat Saber. Now, I've played it several times, but I can't remember how many of those were actually on my account. So the playtime here may only be like an hour, where I'm sure I've played it for like 20. But I'm guessing it's going to be like an hour and a half that I played on my account. Oh no, I'm wrong. I played a fair bit on my account, 11.2 hours. I'm horrible at Beat Saber. But I liked it a lot. I remember there was this one caramel dancing map on Beat Saber where it actually makes you do the ears. But for whatever reason, like I was earing as hard as I could ear, and it wouldn't register those above my head. I think it was maybe because I was too tall for the setup. The setup was imagining me being shorter, so if I actually held it above my head, then my hands were too high to catch the ears. So if I had adjusted the height, maybe it would have been better. Big screen beta, I'm not even sure what that is. I know it's something to do with VR. It's like a hub in VR where like your desktop goes on a big screen in front of you. So I've probably got like an hour in it. Like I tried out one time in VR. 24 minutes. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not 1,000,000% sure what that is. Black Desert. Now I did play. I started it and I was like, oh, this looks fun, I want to get into it. And then I got so overwhelmed by how big it was that I was like, I cannot do this. And I only got about maybe 10 hours into it. 13.3, yeah. Pretty cool game, but I was just like, wow, this is too much. I knew I was in over my head when I started learning the dialogue system, and it took me like an hour. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, I have not played. Borderlands 2 on Steam? Can't imagine I played it that much. Maybe 7 hours? 8.3. Yeah. That sounds about right. Borderlands 3, I have not played at all. Borderlands 1, Game of the Year, I don't think I played at all. Pre-sequel, I think I only played on PlayStation, so I won't have any hours on it here. Boyner's Blob, I've played the Wii version many times, but we only got the Steam version somewhat recently, and I've not played it. Brawlhalla, like 2 hours, I'm sure. 80 minutes, yeah. One of my friends one day was like, yo, we should play Brawlhalla. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And I downloaded it and we played it for 80 minutes. And it was neat. Oh, funny, it's so close to Borderlands in the alphabet when they've got some Borderlands stuff going on. Next is The Caregiver, which is one we played for Chill or Be Chilled. Now let's see if I can remember how long that game was. In theory, it was probably only about 30 minutes, but because I was going really slow because I was scared and also an idiot, probably it's going to be like 2.1 hours? 2.2, there we go, not bad. Next up is Celeste, which I'm sure I've got at least 40 hours in. Well, it could be only 30. First time we played it through, it only took us about 8 hours. I played it through several times after that were closer to like 2 or 3 hours each because I was skipping cutscenes. So let's err on the side of more and say 3 each of those 2 times I played it off camera. So that's 6 hours plus the 8 that I think it took us the first time, 14. And then in the EX playthrough, we've probably played about 6 hours, so it's actually closer to probably to 20. I'm gonna go 22. 18.3. Nice. There's a bunch of Counter-Strikes here, which I'm sure I've not played a single one of. Oh, so hang on. I played Counter-Strike Condition Zero for 21 minutes. I don't remember doing so. Who the hell snuck onto my computer and played Counter-Strike? Final Fantasy VII Reunion Crisis Core, however you're supposed to say that. I have not played it all, but it was also kindly gifted to me. Danganronpa / Danganronpa, I actually don't know how to say it. I think it's Danganronpa. I believe I played like 40 minutes of Trigger Happy Havoc before being like, this looks really neat. I'd like to play it on the channel someday. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. 44 minutes, there you go. But did not touch the other 2. Because, as I say, I'm obsessive about starting from number 1 and carrying on. Dark Souls Remastered surely took us 30 or so hours the first time, and I've gone back a few times for footage for other videos and just for playing it on my own here and there. Probably that adds up to about 10 hours, so probably 40 hours altogether. 54.2, a little more than I had actually wagered. Day of Defeat, I've never heard of it. I don't know why I have it. But there you go, 0 hours. Dead by Daylight, I don't think I've played. Dead Space, none of them I have played. I got them all, the trilogy, on a sale one time. Deathmatch Classic, this is part of Half-Life, right? And nevertheless, 46 megabytes. Wow, gaming was so different back then. Not played it. Deep Sleep Trilogy, now this we have played all of, and I would say, so the first one took us 40 minutes. The second one was like an hour and 10, so we're up at an hour 50, and the third one I think took us like an hour 20. So we're looking at 3 hours 10, maybe like, so it's gonna be like 3.2 hours. 2.6, okay. I wasn't too far off then. Depth I've not played. I bought it because it was like sharks. I'm afraid of sharks deeply and distressingly. I should play this. And then I've like, never actually worked up the courage to do so. Because I mean, look at this terrifying big shark. Destiny 2, there was a period of time where a bunch of my friends were like, oh yeah, let's hop on Destiny. I was like, I don't know what this is, but sure. Not unlike Brawlhalla, but it lasted a little longer, so I'm probably got like 6 or 7 hours in it. I'm gonna say 6.7. 8! There you go. Yeah, shooters and me, you know the story. I'm not a shooters guy. I suck at shooters. They were mostly dragging me along, but it was fun enough. The Devil Haunts Me, not played at all. Dishonored, I've not played on Steam, I'm pretty sure, so that'll be nothing. That's ditto for Dishonored 2 and Death of the Outsider. DNF Duel, same situation there. Now, Doki Doki Literature Club, we played the Switch version on the channel when we did the Plus stuff, right? So that won't be here. This will just be however long it actually took me to play through the first time. All those years ago, which would be like, it strikes as the sort of game I would have been like, I'm a little nervous about anyone walking in on me playing this at a really unpleasant moment, so I have to play this late at night, and I would have fallen asleep with it, so it's gonna have like an extra 10 hours that I was just asleep. It was also came out when I was in high school, so I was just always tired then. So I'm gonna say, even though the game probably only takes like, what, 5 hours to beat, I probably got like 15 in it from times I just fell asleep playing it. 12.6, yeah, that sounds right. Don't Escape, all of them I have not played. Don't Starve Together, see Brawlhalla and Destiny. Played with a friend for a little bit over a period of time, just a few times. So it's probably got like 4 hours on it. 8, we played it for that long? It was quite fun, that totally is fair. I enjoyed it quite a bit. That was actually quite recent. Drunken Lessons 2 is another similar situation, but I don't think we played that one for nearly as long. We played it for like an hour, my friends and I. Yeah. 62 minutes. Elden Ring, still not played, but was also kindly gifted to me. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, now on... I played it much more on PS3 way back in the day, if you will. As for the Steam version, I've probably got like a good 60 hours on it. Let's be serious with myself. 71.4, and only 9 of the achievements. That's not a good sign. The Escapists. I played the first one for like a good 13 hours, I'm pretty sure. 77 minutes? Wait, am I thinking about the second one? Oh, I didn't play that one for that long either, but apparently I didn't play either of them for very long. Wow, well there you go, I was completely wrong on that. Everlasting Summer. Yes, well this game is kind of icky, and I'm not 100% sure I like it, but I did 100% it. Because I'll be damned if I wasn't a little curious about how weird it was gonna get. And... it probably also is a game I would have been like, I must not let anyone see me playing this. I can only play this at the dead of the night, and might have fallen asleep playing once or twice. If I understand correctly, there is a much more risque version of the game that is not on Steam, so I think I dodged a bullet there. This is what I mean when I say I kept trying to get into visual novels and then awful things happened. And so I still haven't been able to break that wall down. I'm gonna guess 12 hours again, just because that's what Doki Doki had. 22, it took me that long? Oh my god. Yes, a very, very weird and occasionally not very palatable game. Oh, but it was 2018, so to be fair, that was also the time where I was just like, anytime there was an achievements list, I was like, well, I may as well try and get all of them. And since it's a visual novel, they're really easy to get. Fun fact, I actually did have a video of this game way early on, the first time I played it, because I was like, this is just too weird to not be documented. But I didn't really like the way the video turned out, and the game is just also has some moments I didn't really care to have stay on the channel because they're icky and unpleasant. So eventually I was like, actually I will take that video down. And then I did. The Evil Within will probably show like an hour and a half. 10 hours? I did play a little bit of one of the DLCs because I was 16 and there was a hunky police officer in one of the community guide. How to beat the goddamn game! But no, I've not actually gone back and played the Evil Within's main campaign proper, nor finished said DLC, so there's that. Far Sky! It's gonna be like... It didn't take me long to beat it. It only took me like 4 hours, and I think I went back in and played around with the creative mode after I beat it first time, so it's gonna be like 5.4 hours. 4.1, there you go. Maybe I didn't go back for as long as I thought. Final Fantasy VII, as per the Steam version, I did play the whole thing through a few years ago, and it was... This was less because I was ashamed to be playing it, and more just because the only time I had to play it in university was like late at night, so I was like glazed-eyed the whole time. So I did probably fall asleep playing this game a few times as well, and it's already not a short game. 40 hours is probably a reasonable time to beat it in, so I'll say it took me 70, and then I'll add the 7, I slept 4 probably. So 77 hours is what I'm gonna guess. 38.8, okay, I way highballed it, but there you go, that's that. And then there's the remake Intergrade, which I haven't played, and 8, which I haven't played. Next one is Firewatch. I only played it through the one time, I'm pretty sure, so just as long as it take me to beat it the first time. I don't remember how long it is. It's like 3 to 8 hours, so I'm gonna I keep highballing things, so let me lowball it and say 3.5. 4.6, okay, yeah, fair enough, there you go. Firewatch is an awesome game, loved it. Five Nights at Freddy's! You're gonna notice a trend that as the games go on, I played them for way less, because the first one is for sure my favorite, second one's quite good. Third one I didn't care for as much. Fourth one, I think it's good, but I didn't really enjoy playing it. And since location I never beat. Nevertheless, Five Nights at Freddy's 1, I'm sure I've got like at least 40 or 50 hours in it, because I love popping into it every now and again in challenging 420 mode. It's just a very addicting thing. I'm gonna say 43 hours. 19.5, I thought it was sure it would be at least 40. Five Nights at Freddy Mercury's. Nevertheless, that gives us some intel for the next one, which is that it's gonna be less than that. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I'm sure I've got like 5 hours in at least. So let me say 4, because apparently when I think I have at least an amount, it's like way less. 6.6, there you go, there you go. Now Five Nights at Freddy's 3, it only took me, I never did 100% Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I got like a few of the custom modes done, but 1020 was I did not do it. 420 I could handle, 1020 no. Five Nights at Freddy's 3's Aggressive Nightmare, though, I did handle, because that game is not quite as difficult, and there's a lot more randomness, I would say. I'm gonna guess it took me 3 hours to 100% the thing. 5.7, okay, a little more than I thought. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 I never did beat. I did try, and I had some old videos on the channel, which, once again, I removed Ditto for Assisted Location, just because I was very self-conscious about all the videos I made way early on in this channel, and I deleted most of them. Freddy's 4... I'm gonna guess it's like no more than 2 hours. 3 hours, there you go, okay. So I was incorrect that it was no more than 2 hours. Assisted Location was genuinely like 80 minutes. 34 minutes, yeah, like I played it for one video, and then I was like, I'll come back to this. Didn't. Freddy's World, though, I definitely fell asleep playing a few times, because it's very unusual and grindy in certain spots if you're trying to get certain things to happen. I'm gonna guess 22 hours. 31.3, so actually more than Freddy's 1, somehow. I wouldn't take that as a measurement of my enjoyment of it. Not that it was really bad or anything, but Freddy's 1 is just a much more interesting kind of game, I would say. Freddy's World is a little odd. Now the Forest. Now this is a big one that I definitely played a lot. It's gotta be at least 60 hours. I'm gonna say as much as 80, though, because I played the heck out of this game with friends, by myself, all over, and I definitely fell asleep playing this one a few times, so 80 hours is my guess. 75.8, that feels right. I do like the Forest quite a bit. Now, I haven't tried Sons of the Forest just yet. Friday the 13th, the game. Oh, what a tragedy that was, that they lost the rights and everything, or never had them, apparently. Because for all its bugginess, it was quite fun now and then. I played it a fair bit, actually. I'm gonna guess 28 hours. 36.3, yeah. I never quite got good at it. I did try, though. Frosty Kiss. Now, this is like a sequel, like an epilogue, basically, to Everlasting Summer, so I 100%ed it as well while I was doing Everlasting Summer. It's a little less unpleasant. It's still very weird, but it's a little more just like, oh, that was kind of unusual, and now it's over. But it's much shorter. I'm gonna guess 4 hours took me to 100% the whole thing. 70 minutes, there you go. I did it. Game Dev Tycoon, I got recently and like played for an hour. I'm gonna guess 40 minutes. 45 minutes, yeah. I didn't play for that long, but it was pretty fun. Gary's Mod, ooh, interesting, because obviously Gary's Mod is its own is a game, but I might not have in my brain it logged as Gary's Mod. I might be thinking of Prop Hunt, or like the weird Slender thing, or just like all the little sandbox things, and I might not have that all gathered together in my brain as Gary's Mod specifically. But I did do a lot of Prop Hunt and stuff when I was younger, so I'm gonna say my brain says 60, but I'm feeling like my heart says 80. Brain was right! 64.5 hours. Yes, that sounds right. Can't believe they're still updating this. Holy crap. Next one's Getting It Over It with Benefati, which I played on the channel, and it made me very angry, way early on. Not for the reason you might imagine. It made me angry because it deleted my save when I was right at the end, and then I lost my patience with it. But I've since gone back and tried to... There's an achievement you get for beating it 30 times, and every now and again I pop in and, tackle it. So I'm up to, like, 14 or so clears, so I've probably got a good 25 hours in it? 22.6. Yes, according to this, I've reached the top of the mountain 17 times, so. Now and again, I pop in and do another one, and eventually we'll have 50. Next is Golf with Your Friends, which I did play with my friends for some time, but I also played it by myself for some time. I'm gonna guess 18 hours. No more than 20, I wouldn't think. Ooh, 7. It was way fewer than I actually thought. Grand Theft Auto 4 on Steam? Maybe like 2 hours? No, not at all. I played it on someone else's account for like 2 hours. Grand Theft Auto 5, on the other hand, I did play a fair bit of. Why is it installed currently? What was I planning on doing with it? I don't know, but no, that's right. I was using it for some footage for one of a recent video. Right, it's not been working on this machine recently. So I did something to it, so I had to play it on my laptop. But let me stop stalling and actually guess how many hours. Again, I probably fall asleep playing this once or twice just because it's a very engrossing game when you get into it. And played it with my friends a few times. 110 hours, because I also probably beat the story once or twice. 193? What the hell? That's so long. That's so long. I didn't realize I liked it that much. Not that I disliked it. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles I've not played, but once again was very kindly gifted to me, and someday on the channel we'll get there. Guild Wars 2, the Steam version, not long, like 3 hours. 11.4 apparently. Guilty Gear 1 we played once on the channel, and I think that was about it. So that video took, what, an hour and a half? 67 minutes. Guilty Gear Strive, I've probably got like 16 hours in it from the silly video where I mimicked the animation. 16, so my final answer. 11.5. Now, Guilty Gear XR, I've got at least... Oh, well, then a lot of my time on that game was on PlayStation. And the Trophy Tour video we did like a few months ago, I'm sure I checked how long I've played XR, but I totally forget now. It's gotta be at least 100 hours, right? But on Steam, maybe just 80. Somewhere from 80 to 120 is my best guess. I'm gonna say 80. 109, bugger. Should've gone with my gut. 120 was closer. Guilty Gear XX, I played only a few times and probably adding up to maybe 2 or 3 hours. So 2.5, let's go, 2.5. 2.9. That's quite fun, actually, XX. Next up is Hades. I haven't played, and then a whole bunch of Half-Life stuff, which I have not played, but, you know, someday on the channel, once again. And Halo the Master Chief Collection, which I also have not played, and I played a little bit of one of the Halos one time, but we gotta actually go through and play the main campaign of all the games Sunday. I mean, Halo is like a cornerstone of gaming. I just have such a huge Xbox blind spot. Next up is A Hat in Time. Now I must have at least 200 hours in this game. I'm gonna say 217 hours in this game. 279.2, yeah, that seems fair. Still one achievement I'm missing. I'm in no hurry to get it, really. Although if the servers eventually go down, I'll be screwed. It's not actually a hard achievement to get. All you have to do is collect timepieces in, like, while playing online, but I just never really found a room with which to do that. But all I have to do is just clear 10 missions. That's part of why I've done it yet, because I'm like, it's so easy. Just save it for a rainy day. But I'm sure the servers will go down one day out of nowhere, and I'll never have that achievement. Same as I have for Uncharted. Next up is Helen's Mysterious Castle, which I did not play. The Henry Stickmin collection we played on the channel sometime. We probably played it for about 2.5 hours, right? Oh, 59 minutes. It only took us about an hour to play through the whole, get one ending in each game, apparently. I hope to someday go back and 100% it, but it will be a bit of a time sink. I mean, not, super long, but it'll take some hours anyways. It won't be done all at once. Next is Hitman Codename 47. How long did it take us to beat that game? I mean, it's tricky because there were only 80 episodes, and often I'll measure it by episodes. Like, Tales of Zestiria took us about 80 episodes, so I know it took us about 80 hours because I was trying to record for about an hour per episode. But Hitman Codename 47, we recorded for 8 episodes, but some of them were like 40 minutes, and some of them were like 5 hours, so I don't really have a good sense. It was probably close to 40 hours it took me to beat it, with how shenaniganizing it was occasionally. 42, I'm gonna guess? 22, okay, so half that. I seem to remember it being longer than that, actually. And next up would be Hitman 2 Silent Assassin, which we are currently playing through, and that probably does have about 40 hours now, actually, because it was... I'm pretty sure I can cheat a little here, because I'm pretty sure it was 37 last I checked, and I've recorded about 5 hours of game since then, so I'm pretty sure it should be around 42. What? What the 29.6? I could have sworn it was at 37. Must have been at 27, I was thinking. How have I got this wrong when we are still playing this game? Anyway, Hitman Contracts, Blood Money, and Absolution I have not played yet, nor Sniper Challenge. Yes, Honeycam Studio and Honeypot. Fun games in their own right, in spite of being probably definitely porn. Once again, at the time I would have been playing Honey Pop at the very least, I would definitely have not been playing it at an hour where anyone else was around, so I probably would have fallen asleep a few times playing it. But I also replayed it a few times just because it's actually quite fun, and it is probably one of the funniest games in existence, in spite of being really creepy and porn. Probably because I was going for 100% at one time, which is kind of difficult. So probably like 28 hours? 73? Good God, man, what was I doing? That probably was mostly spent asleep, to be honest. There's no way it took me 73 hours to get as far as I did. That's ridiculous. Honeycam Studio, I didn't play nearly as much, but I also did make a decent effort for 100% and did not really succeed. Probably like 16 hours? 23.5, yeah, that seems right. Also quite a fun game. Like a tycoon game as they go. It's just, well, this should give you a good sense of it. I remember that game being quite popular when, like, it's weird for such a game to get be in the public eye so much, but like I watched Markiplier play it, I think was how I found out about it, and I was like, oh, this looks hilarious. I can't not play this. Next up are the two, I can't believe it's not gambling games. The first one is listed after because of alphabetizing, and I think I played it for like 6 hours? 4.1, and I got nearly dang near everything. Nearly dang near. I don't have this achievement. It's called Sense of Pride and Accomplishment. I assume you just have to do that many rolls or something. And the sequel, I probably didn't play for near as much. It's probably gonna be like 30 minutes. Oh my god, it was exactly 30 minutes. Boosh. And I also did not 100% it. Next game in the list after those two is I'm Scared, which we played for Chill or Be Chilled one time for about 2 hours, I think. Oh, it was only 46 minutes. Seriously? It felt so much longer than that. We never did beat it, but someday. Injustice 2, I don't think I ever played on Steam. Look at that, I've got 30 hours. I thought most of the time I've spent playing it was on PS4. Maybe I didn't have it on... No, I definitely had it on PS4. Anyway, Injustice 1 I didn't play much of on Steam, but I did get a bit of footage from it earlier this year. So... 3 hours? 18 minutes, yeah, that's about how long it took me to get the footage. The next two games I'm going to skip because we're going to be playing them somewhat soon and I don't want to spoil things. So the game after that is It Moves, which we completed some years ago, and it was only about 2 or 3 hours. So I'm going to say 2.2. 91 minutes, not even that. That was quite a cool little thing. Job Simulator, I surely played for at least a few hours. I'm going to say 5. 26 minutes? Really? Oh, that was so fun. I can't believe I only played it for that long. I maybe have played more of it on someone else's account, because I feel like I've played more than 26 minutes of it. Next up is Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Oh, such a good game. There was a period of time where one of my friends from middle school and I were obsessed with that game, and we played the absolute heckins out of it. There was one time where we went on a long field trip to the States. So it was this hugely long bus ride, during which we had not much to do. So I plugged in my laptop, and he pulled up the bomb defusal manual on his phone. We sat across from each other, and we just laid into that game. We got as far as the second last, like, chapter, I think. And then it started getting really hard, and it was hard to hear each other over the bus. But considering how long we played that game, it must be, like, at least 18 hours. I'm thinking probably around 30. 2.7? That's incorrect. Perhaps it didn't update correctly because all the time we played on that bus and other times we weren't connected to the internet. Because there's no way. I mean, I think it's literally physically impossible that we could get as far as the challenging section and 3 of the 4 in the extreme section in 2.7 hours. I mean, that's like speedrunner status, and we weren't that good. So this is reported incorrectly, unfortunately, so I guess we'll never know how long we played it, but I think probably 18 to 30 hours is a good estimate. This is definitely incorrect. Kona, I've not played. The Lab, I've not played. Left 4 Dead, I played a little bit of them with friends and family. I think Left 4 Dead, I played all of them. Oh, I played one of these, I did a video on the channel. I think it was Left 4 Dead 2. Just twatting zombies over the head with a guitar. So fun. Left 4 Dead 1, probably like 12 hours. Left 4 Dead 2 is gonna be like 6. I'm gonna guess that. Left 4 Dead 1, we got 7.6, and Left 4 Dead 2 is 4.2. So I was closer on Left 4 Dead 2s. Like a Batman, I didn't play ever on Steam. 22.8? What do you mean Steam? I didn't play this on... When the hell did I play the Steam version of Lego Batman the video game? That can't be right. That can't be right. In 2015? I don't believe you. I don't remember that. I have no recollection of that whatsoever. Maybe it's right. Lethal Company. I didn't play too much beyond what we played in that video, so like 4 hours? 2.2. It's quite fun. Mabinogi or Mabinogi, I just have it in my, it's a free game. I have it in my library just so I could keep an eye on it, because I was like, oh, this looks interesting. I have no idea what this is, but I've not played it, so it should be 0. Now Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain. Ground Zeroes I wouldn't have played so much on Steam, and it's also not very long. 4, 5, 6 hours? I'm gonna say 7. Oh, 13 minutes. Okay, I didn't play it at all on Steam then, really. Now, Phantom Pain, on the other hand, I've probably got at least 80 hours in. I'm gonna say 120. 192.9. Love that game. Bloody good game, that is. We played a fair bit of it on the channel as well. Somewhat nearing the end. Well, no, not really, but we're more like 2/3. Miasmata, I've not played, but it looks cool, which is probably why I bought it. Murderlord, Shadow of Mordor. Now, Shadow of War I've not played, but Shadow of Mordor, I did get quite close to 100%, I think. I'm gonna say 45 hours. 32.4, not bad. Not a bad guess at all. It's pretty fun. I liked it a lot. I'd like to go back and 100% it someday, because I think I didn't actually ever touch the DLC after all that. MK11 and 9, I don't think I would have played on Steam at all. Okay, I've got 43 minutes on MK9 on Steam. MK11, not at all. MKX on Steam, I think I only did to get some footage recently, so I probably only have like 13 minutes in it. 9 minutes, yeah. New Tales from the Borderlands, I'm not even sure I know what that is. And then the Nier games I've got nothing on. And the next one is No One Lives Under the Lighthouse, which we played in a Chill or Be Chilled, and that game, I played through the whole thing, and it was actually a fair bit longer than I was expecting. It was pretty cool. 3 or 4 hours it was, right? 3, I'm gonna 2.2. 2.8, damn it. I was gonna say like 2.9. Bizarre horror game, but pretty cool. Next up is Omori, which we've got. It took me like 40 hours to do the main playthrough, and then we did some. I've got in for recording certain things here and there, and also we did the pacifist playthrough. So altogether, probably close to 50 or 60. I'm gonna say 52. 70.1. Okay, I lowballed that a little bit, and it's only gonna go up in a bit when we start our EX playthrough. Penumbra, I don't know what it is, really. Penumbra Requiem, 107 bytes? Is that for real? What the hell is Penumbra Requiem? Anyway, next on the list is Persona 5 Royal, which was also kindly gifted to me, I believe, for my birthday at one time. Maybe it was Christmas. Nah, Christmas. It was definitely Christmas. I remember it being Christmas. Anyway, I have played Persona 1 by myself, so I might be okay starting one of the later Personas without doing a Persona 1 playthrough on the channel. Because, like I said, I'm super neurotic about playing the first game in a series before playing any of the other ones, just to get a sense of how things have developed. When it comes to like the second and third, I'm not as fussed about like I have to play the second and third before the fourth or fifth, but I want to play the first one first anyway, and I have beaten the first Persona, and it's the only Persona game I played to date, although I did play Shin Megami Tensei Devil Story Survivor, which I did not beat. But nevertheless, Persona 5 on the channel Sunday. It's only 39 gigs, that's pretty cool considering how big it's supposed to be. Well, it's supposed to be quite long. I don't know that necessarily means it's got a lot of like models and music, I suppose. Anyway, 0 hours. Phasmophobia. I was playing it with my friends for a while, and I soloed it a few times for a while. I'm gonna say probably at least 20 hours, probably even at least 30. I'm gonna say 32. 31.2, yeah, that sounds right. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, so not the Apollo Justice Trilogy, but the first 3 games probably took me somewhere from 49 to 60 hours to beat, and then I went back and played a few chapters here and there just to relive the glory days, so I'm gonna say 65 hours. 104.1, okay, maybe I went back and replayed a bit more than I thought. It's crazy considering I only first played it in, well, let's find, I started playing it in 2019, and it's already become such an important game to me. And I've like replayed it several times since. I mean, not all the way through the whole trilogy, but like I've gone back into specific cases and replayed certain blocks here and there because I bloody love it. Plants vs Zombies Game of the Year. Now the Plants vs Zombies I played the most was the DS port that I got when I was a very wee lad. Steam port, I did play enough to get decently far. I think I even beat the main campaign like, you know, twice, like once on normal, once on hard. I don't think I 100%ed it, and I don't believe I would have had many more than 20 hours on it. 14.8, yeah. Sounds about right. I'd love to 100% it one time, though, because Plants vs. Zombies 1 is awesome. Portal 1, I played through once, don't think more than once, so probably only the 4 or 5 hours that took. Yeah. That said, I did have an incredible ordeal hoisted upon me in that game where one time, so it was my first time through the game and I didn't know what was going on, and so minor spoilers for one of the portions of it. I got to this one part somewhat near the end where you're supposed to smash this like pneumatic pressurized tube or whatever, and a cube comes out that you can use to platform, and I smashed it because I was like, oh, I bet that a cube is supposed to come out of there for me to use as a platform, and the game bugged out and the cube did not drop out, like the cube just despawned or something. So I was like, wait, so but then what do I do to get up into that ledge I need to get up to? And so I eventually had to fudge it by like rotating a chair on its end and like vaulting off it to get up there, which did eventually work, but so I probably added about 40 minutes to the runtime by doing that. But Portal 1 is amazingly good. Portal 2, I played a bit on the channel with a friend of mine. We did the co-op campaign. I've not ever played the single player campaign yet. The co-op campaign, we probably played about 2.5 hours of it, maybe 3. I'm gonna say 3. 119 minutes, so closer to 2 hours. Can't wait to go back to that and eventually play the single-player campaign and the co-op, although I would probably like to have a playthrough of Portal 1 on the channel before then, so any excuse to replay Portal would be nice, of course. Pray for the Gods! I played it a lot more when it was in early access, and I did quite enjoy it at that time. I haven't played it since its like proper full release, which I think has happened, but I did play it several times, and I would like start again because I was enjoying it because I love Shadow of the Colossus. I think it was maybe like probably 23 hours I spent on it. Yeah, 24.6. There you go. They've added a few achievements and new bosses and stuff since since my day, so to speak. But I did end up I defeated all the bosses in the game that were at that point on the hardest difficulty, which actually wasn't too difficult. It's just you need to prepare quite well. It's got a bit of a, for those unaware, it's a bit like Shadow of the Colossus with some slightly Breath of the Wildy elements. You get a glider you hang around with, you get stamina. Well, you have stamina in the Shadow of the Colossus as well. You get little like consumables to heal yourself and increase your stamina, and you get to craft little weapons and stuff. My favorite part of the game is the grappling hooks, which unfortunately they have pretty shoddy durability, at least when I was playing it. Oh, that may be just because I was on the harder difficulty. But it's awesome. It's like, because it doesn't really, it's pretty generous about letting you use the grappling hook. So it'll be like if you're grappling with like a bird colossus and it like flings you off and you've still got some stamina, you can do a bullet time in midair to slow down with the grappling hook and shoot it to like grapple back onto it and catch onto it again. Oh, it's so awesome. There's some really, really high octane moments in this game. At least when I was playing it. I don't know how maybe they ruined it since then. I doubt it. What achievements have they added that I don't have? So they're new bosses. Oh, there were a few that they were just like, I was in progress of getting them, like the lore stuff, the food thing. 3 bosses I don't have, seemingly, and then the rest were just collectible stuff. Awesome game, that. Psychonauts 1, it's not a very long game. I did beat it. I don't think I 100%ed it. Probably, it's like a 12-hour game, and so if I was chewing the fat, 16 hours? 32 minutes. Okay, that's also wrong. And the fact that I have 0 achievements is also probably wrong. Because I did beat it. Maybe I beat it on someone else's account or something. Because I was trying to get Psychonauts to work the other day. This 32 minutes sounds like how long I played it the other day when I was capturing some footage of it for one of our list videos. I didn't actually end up using that footage, but so I must have, did I play it on, I must have played it on Steam. I remember playing it on my laptop. No idea. Anyway, I didn't play Psychonauts 2 or Rhombus of Ruin just yet, but some one of these days. I've not played Pyre. Red Dead Online did play for a bit, again with my friends a bunch. Probably close to 40 hours we put in that. We were quite enjoying it for a time. And I've completed Red Dead 2 on PS4 though. 40 hours, final answer. 45.5, here they go. Not bad. Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes I have not played, nor Resistance, I'm not even sure what that is, nor Reveal the Deep, nor Ricochet, nor A Rose in the Twilight. RPG Maker MV, I didn't even realize I had. But RPG Maker VX Ace, I've probably got like, I don't know, 1,000 hours in it. I was rather obsessed for a time. I'm gonna say 1,118. 982, there you go. Again, something I would typically fall asleep using. Making absolute disaster games, and, well, the less said about that, the better. Sagebrush! We played on Chill or Be Chilled one time for, it was about an hour and 20 minutes? 2.4 hours, okay, a little longer than that. Quite an interesting and, pretty haunting and chilling game, that. Psychonostaka! When we played it, I played the itch.io version, so I actually haven't played the Steam version. Oh, I've got 1 minute on the Steam version, there you go. They changed it quite a bit from the time I had played it. I remember there being some weirdness there was maybe some controversy about they had allegedly used certain scripts without permission or something, and I was kind of like, that was like just after I bought the game and I was planning to play some on the Steam version. And I was like, oh, maybe we stay away from that for a bit. I don't actually know what the situation is with the game now. But anyway, Saints Row 4, I did play all of, and I was going for 100% at some point. Actually, Played quite a lot of that game. It's probably got like 60 or 80 hours in it. It's quite fun. And really stupid. And fun. 65 hours. Final answer. 42.0. Okay, a few less than I thought, but there you go. I completed the grand finale in 2019. And apparently moved right on to Ace Attorney. Sea of Thieves, Sea Brawlhalla, and etc. I played this with friends a few times. I have a few shorts up on the channel from when I was like desperately needing sleep, but I was like, nah, let's play Sea of Thieves with my friends. Probably only played it for like 12 hours altogether. Yeah, 10.4, it sounds right. I didn't do too much in that. I was, again, mostly just along for the ride there. I haven't played the Shelter games or the Shenmue games. Skullgirls Second Encore, I played... I did like it, but I never really took the time to get any good at it. Peacock Maidens Unite. I played like 4 hours of it. 2.6, yeah, that sounds right. It's pretty fun, though. Very, very kinetic, that game. Endless Beta, I don't know that I played at all. I'm not sure why it's in here. Skyrim Script Extender, I'm not certain what that is. Something to help you do mods. Slime Rancher, I did not ever play. Soma, I have not played. South Park: A Fractured Butthole, I think I only played on PlayStation, so I won't have any hours here. Speedrunners, I don't think I've played. Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, I think was a gift from someone, and I don't believe I played it. Once again, I'm going to skip the next game in the list, because we're going to be playing it rather soon. Next up is Spore, which on the Steam version, I probably only have like 10, 20 hours, but way back in the day when I was playing it from disc, I played it very, very much. I probably have like, in those days, I probably had like 200 or 300 hours in it, but in terms of the Steam version, I'm going to say 12 hours I've got. 3.8, okay, even less than that. Oh, Spore, we got to play Spore on the channel someday. I mean, it's a classic. It's a classic, I tell you. Next up is Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, which we only recently finished our playthrough on, and it was about 11 hours, would you say? Maybe closer to 9 altogether. 11.4. That would have been so good if I had just stuck to that. Fallen Order, I've not played. Steamulator, I'm not sure what it is. Stranded Deep was basically, I think, the first Steam game I got. That game was so magical and unusual in its earlier versions when the ocean was flat. I understand why they changed it to make it more realistic that the ocean actually has like physics and everything, and that's more impressive, but there's something so magical about the earlier versions of Stranded Deep where like the ocean is just completely dead calm all the time, and eerie fog will like occasionally roll in while you're paddling, and you'll just have no idea where you're going, and then sharks will start circling. It's just so... there's nothing like it. There's nothing like early versions of Stranded Deep. As for how long I played it a fair bit in the earlier versions, then I recently came back to it. I say recently, in the past 4 years or so. And we played 1 or 2 episodes of it. And I basically stopped because I couldn't handle anymore. It'd be fun to try and beat it someday, because they have added an end game to it. I enjoyed it more, I think, in its earlier stages. But I can't really be outside of them for taking it in the direction they wanted, and it was my choice to purchase it in early access after all. But in the earlier days, I probably accrued like 40 hours in it, and then more recently, we only played it for 2 episodes, which is like 2 hours, so like 42 hours? 66.7. Neat. I'm sorry, Turtle, this is about to turn out very poorly for you. Stray, my family and I played through Stray all together on PS4 a few years ago, which is part of what motivated me to get it on Steam, and I was hoping to get to 100% all the achievements someday on it. Again, there are so many games in my life where I'm like, someday on the channel we gotta play that. I want to do YouTube for my entire life and just play as many games as possible. Next is Subnautica. Subnautica, the main game. I played it several times and for a fair while. I'm gonna say like 80 hours. 74.9, yeah, that sounds right. I enjoyed this game quite a lot. It's rather good, it is. Subnautica Below Zero, I've always wanted to play. I know people don't like it quite as much, or such as what I've heard, but it's more Subnautica, and I would like to play it at some point, but have not. Super Seducer is a very, very, very funny game that sucks so bad. And is so creepy and unusual. And I'm ashamed to say I did play it for 2 hours out of morbid curiosity. Yes, that sounds right. Oh, what a misguided thing that was, but I bought it, so I'm the fool, aren't I? Tales from the Borderlands, I hadn't played. Tales of Arise, I have not played, nor Berseria. Now, Symphonia and Zestiria, I think we played them both for like 83.7 and 83.4 hours or something like that. Like, the amount of time we played each of them is like within a half hour of each other, which is so incredible. Tales of Symphonia, 153.7, oh wow. And Tales of Zestiria, 154. It's actually double what I thought. Nevertheless, it's crazy that after both playthroughs, we were only what's that, 18 minutes apart from each other in terms of the length of the game. Incredible. Absolutely would love to go back and 100% both of those on the channel someday. I loved both games. Zestiria maybe slightly less, but I did like it quite a lot. I wouldn't say I like loved it in the same way. Well, then I had some beefs with Symphonia as well. Nevertheless, I love Tales games, and those two are no exception. Tales of Vesperia I've also still not played. Team Fortress Classic, not played. Tekken 7, maybe I have like a half hour in it. Yeah, 17 minutes. That sounds right. The test games. The test 1 was only like 40 minutes long, right? 53. The test 2, which is Hypothesis Rising, is more like an hour and 10 it took us. Yeah. And the test Final Revelation was like an hour 20, so like 80 minutes we're looking at. Oh no, it was even a bit longer. It was almost 2 hours. Yeah, wow. And Secrets of the Soul and Secrets of the Soul 2 and Testing Chamber I never did play after that time. I was playing these 3 when I had my wisdom teeth out because that was a recommendation I received, and also I thought it would be fun to play something so invasive and bizarre when I had my wisdom teeth out, and I was still a little weird from recovering from that. Well, I wasn't they didn't put me under, so I never got like funny juice or whatever, but I mean to say, from all the blood loss and everything, I was a little kooky. And from only eating ice cream for several days. Thief, I've not played any of, but I do have a few games on Steam here, and it would be fun to play. Ditto to the Moon, someday we'll play that. I've heard it's just really sad and moving and emotional, and I can't wait. Sounds like fun, as far as I'm concerned. There's only one achievement. I'm guessing you get that when you get to the moon? Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, I got the other day. Oh yeah, that was it. When I was finishing up my last term of university and stressing like mad, I was like, I need to play something stupid to take my mind off of everything, and that game was Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and I've got like 6 hours in it from that time. 2.9, okay, a little less than I thought, but what a silly and fun game that is. And a classic YouTuber game. Toho 10, I think this is, Mountain of Faith. I have not played. We only played the first 4, and you didn't get to see the third one because I didn't like the way that video turned out, so I did not upload it. But I'm quite excited to play this sometime, because the only ones I've played so far are the PC 98 or whatever versions, which themselves were actually quite tightly designed and impressively, but I bet it's even better by the time you get to like the widespread Windows versions. Transistor I've not played. Trick and Treat, once again another visual novel, which actually this one wasn't all that bad. It's just a little weird. Another visual novel in my slew of times where I was just like picking out visual novels from Steam to play, hoping I could really get into one, and it was quite short. I don't remember really any of it, so I can't really say if it was good or bad or anything. I think it was alright. Sorry, I didn't even guess how long it took me to beat it. I was gonna say 3 hours, I think, but yeah, 2 hours, there you go. Trove! I played this with a few friends a few times, one time, but it was like 3 hours, I think. Oh, it's not even measuring it here, so I guess then it was on someone else's account or something. Yeah, not much sure how long I played that, actually. I want to say 3 hours, but it could have been a fair bit more or less than that. Ultimate Chicken Horse, I don't think I ever played. Undertale, the first... adding up all the playthroughs we've done of it, because I've recorded a bit more of it that's going to go up in not too long, in like a month or so. I think altogether, probably 40 or 50 hours we have in it? Yeah, 41.6, that sounds right. What an incredible, incredible game this is. Unturned, Sea Brawlhalla, etc. I'm going to guess we played this one for about 6 hours, my friends and I. 119 minutes, 2 hours, there you go. Use your words, did I ever play that? I think I did with some friends. Probably, again, only for like 2 to 4 hours. I'm going to say 4 hours we played it. Pretty long form games. Oh, I probably was signing in with my phone, and I wasn't actually playing, like, opening the application on Steam, so there's that. So who knows how long I was playing it for. I've not actually played it, open the application myself. Valheim, yet another one. Friends of mine and I played for a little bit. Not very long, but longer than Unturned, I think. Probably like 7 hours. 3.2, yeah, there you go. Oh, well, Valheim's pretty cool. I could see myself getting into it, but my friends were ahead on a file that they had already advanced like 30 hours into and gotten a whole bunch of stuff, so they were like, here, jump in! And they like loaded me up with a bunch of weapons, and I was like, wait, I don't understand how the progression in this game works. And they're like, you'll figure it out. And I was like, wait, but I'm so far behind in everything. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, I think I received just recently for my birthday, which was quite kindly gifted to me. So I've not yet played it. Warhammer Vermintide 2, not played. War Machine Tactics, not played. Watch Dogs, not played any of them. The Watson Scott test we played on the channel collectively for about 2.5 hours? No, it's shorter than that. It was more like an hour and 40 minutes. 33 minutes. Okay, nowhere close to either of those. White Noise Online, which is kind of like a Slender 'em up that I played way back. It was like in 2016 that I played it. It's not bad. I did play it by myself a few times, and I was kind of getting into it, but I never saw it to fruition and really like got deep into it. It's kind of like a Slender Mutt where it's like, get these 8 things while this monster chases you that you're not supposed to look at or touch. But there are different characters you can select, and they each have like different resistances to it and different little abilities and things. I'm gonna say I played it for 8 hours. 90 minutes? I think that's maybe wrong. I'm sure I played it for a little more than that. Maybe not 8 hours, but anyway, it's a neat little thing. The only achievement I have is you tried to pause while there was a jump scare going on. Which, if you haven't picked it up from the context clues, it does not work. Did I really never win one? I'm sure I at least got all the tapes one time. I mean, it does get quite difficult. That's kind of neat. The 3 Witcher games here I have not played. Yooka-Laylee I've not played. Yuppie Psycho I've not played. And, it's down to Yuppie Psycho avoiding You and Nikki, which I'm now going to try and guess at as my last game in the list, because I would rather end on a guess than just saying I have 0 hours in Yuppie Psycho. I'm actually not even 100% sure that's how you say that. It might be Yuppie Psycho. I know very little about it. Yume Nikki, or it might be pronounced Yume Nikki, actually, now. I'm suddenly thinking. It translates to Dream Diary, I'm pretty sure. And this is not the Dream Diary version. No, this is not the game called Yume Nikki Dream Diary. This is just called Yume Nikki. And with the number of hours we spent on it was not slim. I'm gonna say 14 hours. 18.4! Not a bad guess to round this video out with. So there you go. All the Steam games in my library, except for a few that I was keeping secret. Oh, yeah, Ib. Gotta play Ib on the channel someday. That looks cool. I like RPG Maker horror games. They're cool. Ao Oni is one of my favorite horror games out there. There you have it. We went through the whole Steam library, except for a few that I was keeping secret. I guessed how long I had in all of them. I was actually surprised with how inaccurate I was on most of them. The only ones I only got like 3 of them within an hour of the correct time, save for all the 0 ones that I knew I hadn't played. Wow. It's funny, with how many games, I tend to consider myself a very much a variety kind of gamer where I'll like play anything and I have a wide repertoire of games I've played. But then when I actually like look at it, there are so many games that I've been like saving to play on the channel that there's genuinely quite a lot that I haven't played, even among what I own. I looked up at my, just absent-mindedly at my Switch games I have on my wall here, and that's further proof. The first 3 I looked at. The first 4 I looked at here. Link's Awakening, Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 3, Mario Odyssey. A bunch of games just sitting here that I still ain't beat. And the only one I've even actually played is Odyssey. I don't regret that, because I very much like getting to play the games on the channel as my first time. I think there's something very exciting about being able to share that first experience and first reaction to, the story, the environments, everything. It's part of what makes doing YouTube so fun for me, is knowing that there are some of you just giggling, twiddling your fingers, knowing what's coming next, and that I have no idea. But it is just crazy to put into perspective sometimes how many games there are out here that I own but haven't played. Here you go, Demon Souls, that's another one. Hopefully we get to that sooner rather than later. Alan Wake, God of War, the list goes on. There you have it! I'll extend the question to you. Have you ever looked at a game in your Steam library or wherever, and it told you the playtime and you were like, I don't believe that at all. That sounds too little or too much. The way I did with several of these games, most notably Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, but that's because I'm pretty sure this is a genuine bona fide error. Do let me know down below. Actually, the one that really surprised me was GTA 5. How the hell do I have almost 200 hours in it? Like, doing what? The main story is like 40 hours long, and I didn't 100% it. That's all. Next video on the channel is gonna be some more Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here. Oh, I should put it over down in Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. There you go. Let's see if we can bring this number up, shall we? Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! I just remember it being more like my suspicion rose too fast in the Bible. Maybe I was exaggerating and not looking carefully enough. So let me give that a try. Whatever the case, to complete this mission, I do have to be up there to hide her body. Unless I could convince her to go to that room by herself.